Hey everybody, welcome to this month's question of the month. And of course, you can always submit your own question, yoganatomy.com/my question. This question comes from Predra. Hi David, hope you are well. From the anatomical point of view, what benefit do we have, other than becoming able to do certain Ashtanga postures, from forcing our body to, say, come to double pigeon or Baddha Konasana? Why is it good to have our hips open, as we say, to have our hamstrings elongated? Um, a good question. I don't typically recommend forcing our body to do double pigeon, Baddha Konasana, or any of those other things, by the way. Um, I don't think that's a good suggestion if, dare I say, your teacher's suggesting that. But it brings up a general question. It's kind of like, why are we doing this practice, right? Like, what are we opening our body for? What is the purpose of all of that? So, I mean, ultimately, we're opening the tissues in our body so that we're comfortable in it, mostly for sitting, and particularly sitting for meditation, which should be sort of the next direction of practice, either pranayama or meditation and that kind of stuff. So it's partly just for that. Now, we can get a little bit more specific and tie it back to that, which is the reason we want to open our hips as much as possible, or maybe as much as necessary, um, for us to be able to sit comfortably, is because when we say hips, what do we mean? You know, the two that you mentioned in particular, double pigeon and Baddha Konasana, are both about external rotation of the hips, which is very important for being able to sit for long periods of time comfortably. Um, the hamstrings elongated is also related to the hips, right? Because the hamstrings cross the hip joint. Overall, when the hips are, as we say, open, what we're really saying is the pelvis is free. And with the pelvis being free, and this comes from the glutes, the adductors, and even the hamstrings, to set the pelvis up in a way. Why? Because the spine sits on top of the pelvis. And so if you want your spine to be elongated for sitting and for meditation, the more open your hips are, the easier the foundation is put in the right place, and therefore the spine sitting on top of it. To me, that's really the reason to open the hips. All right, I hope that answered your question. Anybody else, if you've got a question, of course, go to yoganatomy.com/my question. See you soon.